a lot of people out there that are kind of bummed about this. They feel like they're losing some Misha control. It should be an increase to her stickiness, though. We just got to make sure that's all on one button here. So D to move her around. And then if we want her to follow, we'll have to actually click ourselves and get her back on us, but she'll be in position, ready to go, with increased movement speed when I attack. So no more one button, just Misha. So let's get the obvious questions out of the way. So, she targets, has increased movement speed, makes her sticky. If Arthas chooses to run, we actually get a little notifier of who is targeted. So she should be more sticky on top of him. Let's see what happens when we get out of range. And do we still have a range indicator? We do. Alright. So she returns to me. Now is she neutral? I attack something. She wants to attack it as well. Interesting.
On the prowl.
A bit harder to set her to neutral, but as long as she's neutral, I just attack something, and she'll go for it. And once she's gotten out an auto attack, it looks like she's pretty good to keep going on it. Let's try
this way.
What if I never engage quite too hard? So I get Misha here, and I right-click that, but then I walk away. Okay, so right-clicks still get her locked on, but she wouldn't be focused. Passive. Misha gains 15% movement speed. Command Misha to attack a specific enemy or move to a point and wait. Targeting Rexxar commands Misha to retreat to his position, gaining 30% movement speed until she reaches Rexxar. Okay, so it's a bit more elegant than even that. She's gonna respawn here, and 30% movement speed back to me. I like that. So sort of a pinky, purpley for when she's just hanging out, holding the point. Red for attack, yellow for follow until she is back on me. But she still has, when she's attached to me, all the sort of features she used to have. Let's see if I change targets. She changes targets. Okay, so she still wants to attack whatever I'm A-moving. That ain't too bad. There will be a little bit of this as you try to get Misha to lock onto you. But there she goes. All yellowed up. Now she is my side companion. Cool. Did anything else important happen to her basic abilities? In fact, this all makes it a lot more complex than it needs to be. I think the Misha D button there describes it perfectly. Spirit Swoop, no changes. 40 mana, 7 seconds. Misha Charge, no changes. 45 mana, 10-second cooldown. 1.25 stun, still pretty darn good. Healing, 5 seconds. Only big deal on the base kit is that Misha Focus, which changes everything around a little bit, but we do have increased movement speed now for stickiness. And if we leave Misha somewhere, she should leash back to us with greater speed, which is good. And now she's in neutral. Perfect. Easy Prey. Increase Misha's damage to minions and mercenaries by 150%. And Misha gains 50 armor against minions and mercenaries, reducing damage by 50%. Cool. So, level 1, you're going to decide. Instead of level 4, I believe. If you're going to be doing merc camps and the like. Minions don't really matter so much, but 50% armor to mercenaries certainly would help out a lot. Let's see how that looks on a boss. So there goes Misha. Let's go ahead and we'll lock her on to make sure she has increased movement speed for some reason. Disengage, get her back in. And at level 1, we're making our way through a boss, and she's going to die.
Let's move.
Cool. Control complete. Easy Prey. Waiting on a fresh Misha. The bear. Let's do... Now with our 50% armor, let's lock on a Misha. Well, it certainly is helpful. Wow, very helpful. It's gonna be a long go, but... Oh my goodness, that makes it so much easier to solo a boss. You used to have to do this return to me or focus thing. It was kind of a pain. Well, I do feel like it'll be harder to get Misha to actually come back to you easily. This control I'm able to have without it having to seesaw between me is pretty awesome. I think maybe we should put Rexxar in the tank place for a little bit. Gosh, he can't take many hits, but at least that gave Misha some time to regenerate. Oh no, into the roots! Oh, missed the bird. How much damage is that? 61? That's not a lot. Sweet. Alright. Easy prey. Level 1 boss complete. And it pops right back up because, well, it's just a test thing. GMAC asks, does that damage reduction apply to towers? Minions and mercenaries. Structures are a different category, so they would have to say that. So I believe we'll get no reduction. There's what the hits feel like. Alright, let's easy prey. We'll go ahead and toggle the cooldowns. Get a nice, hefty Misha. Let's wait for the regeneration to fade as well, so she's not healing underneath that. Cool, let's send her in. Looks the exact same. We felt a pretty big change into that boss, so it would have to say structures here. Minions, mercenaries. Also, no monsters, which is a pretty big blow to this town as well. You won't be able to solo garden terrors as well. You won't be able to... Well, I guess Misha would just not be resistant to the vehicle attacks of Dragon Knights and Garden Terrors. Immortals don't really attack people. What else would there be? Punishers? If it leapt Misha, that might not be a bad idea, but she wouldn't get reduced damage there either, so that strategy's out in a sense. So any other skeletons in the Infernal Shrines pits? Those would have no advantage. Bird of Prey, increased swoops damage by 150% to minions. So lane clear. You didn't draft enough lane clear. You got yourself a Rexxar for some reason when you needed lane clear. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe Brax's holdout right. You're doing the solo Rexxar lane. There's no real minions attacking your Misha. There's structures, and those don't matter. There's no monsters, really, in the whole map other than the Zerg wave. So you take Bird of Prey for a little bit of lane clear.
On the prowl.
By 150%. So let's see what that feels like. We're hanging out. Of course, we would be microing our Misha to be out in front of us, absorbing skill shots from Jaina and the like. Go ahead and select ourselves. Let's go ahead and shoot a bird. Okay. Oh, wow. So pretty hefty there. Going up to what looked like 367? 367, yeah. Ah. You'd have some pretty decent lane clear with that guy. Could be good for Braxis. What else is there? Of course, you want to hold points and stuff like that, but no mercenaries or monsters to contend with as much. You might be able to solo... No. If we could barely solo this with Misha's health, I don't think you could add level 1 solo. Not like you would be level 1 when he pops up anyway, but the Braxis boss. Flare got changed around a little bit. Flare is now a 30-second cooldown. Fire a flare in the area revealing for 20 seconds. 20? Wow, only 10 seconds.
Very well.
And I believe it's non-targetable. It's not going to be attacked by anybody. That would be a bird. There's a flare, which is just a torch. Sight in an area. Revealing it. So, same as our other reveals, you wouldn't knock anybody out of stealth, but you would be able to see them. And only 10 seconds between each. That got pretty good. That's a decent anti-stealth option. Particularly because it can't be attacked, so it's just gonna sit there getting you sight and control. Misha's already about control, so why not have a nice zoning going on while you do it? I like it. Definitely situational, so a nice sort of situational level 1 here. Let's advance.
Choose a talent.
very map dependent.
Choose a talent.
So let's imagine then, just for, because I want to merc, because merking is why I used to take Rexxar anyway. Let's go ahead and do easy prey for now. Hungry Bear. Misha's basic attacks heal her for 4% of her max health. Unchanged. It's always been pretty good healing. 4% of a bear. Helps you do bosses and stuff, but we don't need it anymore. Would be healthier on the mana, though. This costing 55. Need to save it for those sweet Misha charges. Hunter-Gatherer. Gathering a regeneration globe increases Rexxar's health by 1.25 per second, health regeneration, up to 25 per second. After gathering 20 globes, Rexxar and Misha gain 10 armor, which would be 10% damage reduction. That's pretty good. Regeneration for both, just Rexxar's regeneration, but both get the armor. Cool. Sirion asks, how does Easy Prey help with bosses if it says minions and mercs? Aren't bosses monsters? No, monsters are objectives. So, Garden Terrors, neutral controlled Garden Terrors, otherwise they count as monster heroes. It gets a little weird there. There's no neutral Dragonite. So a monster would definitely be the Battlefield of Eternity, the skeletons in the Infernal Shrine Pit, the Guardians on Sky Temple. Those are all monsters. So you wouldn't have an advantage against any of them, but a boss is still a merc. However, some talents, such as Merc Lord, let's go find one here. Sonya's still sporting one. So Merc Lord has to say friendly non-boss mercenaries. So that's where the text comes in. Friendly non-boss mercenaries. Could you imagine if they didn't have friendly in there? You accidentally enhance the enemy? Didn't Bird of Prey apply to mercs as well before? I think you're right. It was, what was it, at level 4? I think? You'd have to get a little deep into it, because I remember back in the day when I used to take Rexxar on Blackheart's Bay because he was an amazing mercer. Yeah, crippling talents, taking flight. Here it is, Bird of Prey. 200% damage to minions and mercenaries. Yeah, so they took away the mercenaries and gave us a version that's just lane clear, and it's considerably weaker. But it is a level 1 talent after all, level 1 instead of 7, so they took away some of its power. But I like it because now you have a clear choice. We're not double investing in mercs. We can either choose minions or mercs, and minion damage here doesn't really matter to me at all. You're either miss-microing Misha, or you're using her to catch a wave coming in before it can reach a wall, in which case you're playing pretty defensively and you don't need to worry about mana as much. So a bit messy, I agree. Sad to lose that power, but I think we have a good option in this Easy Prey at level 1. So Hunter-Gatherer, 10% armor. Wouldn't really feel it, but it would pop up later in the game. 25% regeneration, or 25 generation per second when you completed after 25 globes. Not insane. Level 4, though, to get 25 globes, maybe they're figuring you're doing a little bit of merking, too. So you're really powering up on those globes anyway. Maybe you take this on Braxis, where there's an orb generator, and that sort of fancy stuff. Grizzled Fortitude. Every 7 seconds, Rexxar and Misha gain 70 physical armor against the next enemy hero basic attack, reducing the damage taken by 75%. Stores up to 2 charges. Both Misha and Rexxar have their own charges. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of block. I think it's a little random. I think it sort of sweeps in and is removed by things like supports, removed by things like tanks. We also have a lot of heavy attack speed heroes in the game right now. Zul'jin, Vala, Zarya, Tracer, Tychus, Valera. These guys who don't really do big auto attacks, they just come really fast. Zul'jin's kind of a special case because he increases his own attack speed over time. But I feel like block talents, unless you're going into Hammer or Rainer, are out. But this one's kind of interesting to me because you have the separate charges, which means Misha can be getting hit by whatever, but Rexxar in the back has some resistance built up for when they actually close on him. If Rexxar is playing very safe, I could see this really being the big hits, like the Rainers. And if a Zeratul pops out on you, Then you can reduce his own healing if he takes the level 13 talent with amending strikes and all. So this, I like this. Things that are going to gank you will probably put out a big auto attack, maybe a follow-through auto attack after their spell. I like this one a lot, just because Misha can kind of waste hers in the front. Animal Husbandry. Weird name. I feel like they're friends, right? I feel like Rexxar and Misha, they're buddies that they met in the woods one day and they had kind of a mutual understanding of each other's savagery or something like that. Animal Husbandry, that's like Civ. We're going to be, what, raising sheep and stuff? Does Misha have a mate? Are we trying to make baby Mishas? I don't know. Seems a little awkward. Rexxar and Misha gain 2 maximum health every second. Rexxar is a... Rexxar and Misha gain 2 maximum health every second Rexxar remains alive. These bonuses are lost on Rexxar's death. Rexxar and Misha. Okay. Well, let's just click the button and see. So I'm at 219. She's at 2062. And it just goes up. And we just sit here. If I increase the game speed, does it go by faster? No, the game speed does not affect that. Doesn't actually affect the timer of the game, just the speed at which everything's moving. Well, it wouldn't be a ridiculous amount, but it could. So Misha can die, and it doesn't matter. Sitting at... Wait a minute. Does this matter if Misha dies, and will she not get points? Alright, so we need to catch Misha right as she goes down here. I just used Misha Focus with the 1 button. So it's ticking up. 2216. Okay. 2216. My health is still increasing. 2216. 2252. So her health does go up while she's dead, as long as I don't die. Now, if I die, does it all go away? These bonuses are lost on Rexxar's death. Yes. So if I walk in here... 2255, 57, 2257. 2257. So we went down 200 some odd health. 220 some odd health. Well, that's pretty darn powerful, particularly that Misha continues to generate health and get more health while she's dead. And why is Rexxar... I'm using the 1 button like crazy here for the focus. This D is going to take me forever. So that is pretty good. You can get even a little suicidal with your bear, and it won't affect much. These are all healing and defense talons, so... Orb maps. I wonder what I would use Hungry Bear for. Maybe... point control? So they can't out-DPS my Misha's regeneration? Fortitude against auto-attackers if I need to close on a hammer. If maybe there's a stealthy on the enemy team. Regeneration only now, so this gives you 10% armor when you're all done. But Animal Husbandry is how you actually get a hold of more life. They made that an interesting choice. I like that a lot. That's really good. Let's advance. I want to be a mercer on this guy. Occasional tank, occasional point control, but I want to merc fast and safe.
Wise choice.
I mean, here, mercing fast and safe, I do Animal Husbandry, probably. Unless I'm going to get ganked or something, and I might want Grizzled Fortitude for that. Or Hungry Bear, maybe if I'm soloing bosses. But really, this is a set amount of health, so it's not percent-based. It won't increase as my health goes up. So maybe in that situation you want Hungry Bear. But I think Animal Husbandry, living the dream for Rexxar, Murky style, is kind of interesting. Aspect of the Beast. Misha's basic attacks lower the cooldown of Misha Charge by 1.5 seconds. That is unchanged. This is just a level where they move things around. Removed Blood of the Rhino and moved Bird of Prey to level 1 in its new Merciless form. So you're up against Crippling Talons, increased Spirit Swoops slow amount to 50% and its duration to 3 seconds. As it was before, now it shall be. Duration 3 seconds, 1 extra second, and an extra 20% movement speed. I do like 50% slows quite a bit. Increase Spirit Swoop's range by 20%. If Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, the mana cost is refunded, and its cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. This would be a fantastic level 1, perhaps, mixed with the Bird of Prey. But at 7, when are you really going to be laning, right? That's kind of my thought here, right? You throw the Bird of Prey out, the Spirit Swoop clears the lane, and hits the hero in the middle, causing you to get your mana back. This can get rather expensive. Every 7 seconds clearing lanes out like that. But now with new orbs, maybe you don't need the regeneration. 2 seconds still leaves you with 5 seconds. Without any CC on them, well, there's a 30% slow, so it just feels like you can't
on the prowl.
Put him... Well, it's pretty long. Let's get an enemy out here, and let's do Taking Flight, and kind of play it like a Butcher Hamstring.
I wander alone.
And maybe Misha's going, and I hit him, and we're kind of dueling in lane, and we get a stun off. It does reduce the 2 seconds after it's flown through the air, so you're only sitting on a shorter cooldown, but 184 damage when my auto attacks do. Misha's doing 69, I'm doing... That's just not very powerful.
This way.
That does not feel good enough. And it is going to be free, but we're just not fighting in lane like that. If I was going to do something else, I'd do Crippling Talons to go up to 50% slow and really feel that Varian-like slow on his Lion's Fang. But Aspect of the Beast, basic attacks lower the cooldown of Misha charge by 1.5, 10-second cooldown, more power slides basically by proxy. There's no reason not to Aspect of the Beast. I struggle to find situations where you are laning that hard. Maybe if you're doing like a solo lane... Yeah, maybe you're doing a solo lane... Blackheart's Bay in the bottom, and you're using your lane clear to push forward. But no, because on Blackheart's Bay, you would go easy prey so you can solo a boss later on. That'd be the whole point. So maybe you're just dueling one guy in lane for a really long time? Why not just lock on Misha and get more stuns instead of a slow? Particularly a stun that lasts about half the duration. A little less, of course. Well, no, actually over half the duration of the normal slow. Yeah.
Choose a talent.
I see limited options there. But it could, if the damage is good. That's really the deciding factor, right? I mean, remember when we didn't know what Zarya was for. 10 is Unchanged.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
And for the most part, these have always been situational. I think we're really starting to feel a rhythm how 2 specs could go here. Right now, sort of favoring my favorites, more general talents, but we can really get specialized. Bestial Wrath, because Misha's getting to auto-attack for long periods of time. There is no heavy damage. If people are putting CC into Bestial Wrath, Misha, then they're doing it wrong in the first place. You're absorbing CC. The tank job is going great, so no problems there. 50-second cooldown. Unleash the Boars. 60-second cooldown. Release a herd of boars that track down all enemy heroes in a direction, dealing damage, low damage, but revealing and slowing enemies by 40%. So sometimes you just need a little more CC. People are kiting out your bear, giving them a slow allows her to actually do the damage that she wouldn't be able to do with Bestial Wrath. So here, we're assuming in this build that I'm getting out auto attacks. The enemy is slightly immobile in some way. I'm providing more CC for my team, so we do Bestial Wrath here. If we were doing an auto attack, a more auto attack based build, then we might want to do Unleash the Boars. Particularly if we don't have any CC on the team, Unleash the Boars. Let's head to 13.
Choose a talent.
What's the big changes here? Bare Necessities removed, that was a resistance talent. Barkskin removed, that was a resistance talent. Aspect of the Hawk got additional functionality. And new talent, Dire Beast. Okay. What do those mean? Let's run through the spec I'm enjoying. Oh, so Wildfire Bear's still here. Misha deals damage in an area around her per second. Cool. Always been very easy to use. Throw out Misha. Does more damage. Helps you take multi-merc camps like a bruiser. And if Misha's getting attacks out, you're increasing her damage by her just hanging out in the area, giving her some splash damage. A nice little auto pick because it's passive. Aspect of the Hawk. When Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, Rexxar gains 100% attack speed for 3 seconds. Misha's basic attacks increase the duration of this buff by 0.5. I don't think we have track of Misha's attack speed. Rexxar's is about 1 per second, a little less. So let's hope this has a visual indicator. Alright. So, we got our dude, and we hit him. There's my attack speed. Okay. 100% attack speed. Attacks per second. Alright. So, it does what it says. Increase attack speed. What is Rexxar's range? That's really the limiting factor in a talent like this. His range is a little short, and then you got a bear out in front of you. So in all reality, what are you really going to do here? You're going to lead probably with Misha Charge. Attack speed for 3 seconds. We have cooldown 7 seconds. Can I pad this out to 5? That's the real question.
Choose a talent.
So let's say I'm, for some reason, doing a full Bird of Prey build. In this instance, I would be laning a lot, so why not Hunter-Gatherer? And then I'm going to go with the Taking Flight so I can spam it on people, because I'm trying to go for auto-attack kills. So, if I hit, reducing the cooldown by 2 seconds, will I be able to chain this thing while increasing my attack speed? What kind of enemies do I have to hit? Hits an enemy hero, so no bosses. I mean, it's a good increase. Actually, if they're held perfectly still, and you don't have to move, you get almost exactly bonus 100% attack speed for the whole thing. But, in all reality, you're probably doing this. And then you're doing this. And then you're trying to get in close enough, and then you're having to dodge like a blizzard halfway through. So you have to get over here. The good news is that the reset is actually based off of Misha, so as long as she's locked on, preferably in this case to a target that doesn't want to move much, we would be good to get around.
Misha.
That's really interesting. I just struggle to think of any time anyone's going to stand that still. And by closing the distance this much with Rexxar, I think you're putting him in some danger in the first place. Yeah. Depending on what talent you do, you could lead with the slow and then do the stun to adjust, right? So if we can imagine crippling talents here instead, Misha's engaged, I go in, and granted we don't get the cooldown reduction, but we're going to wail for as long as we can. And then as they charge me, because I'm so close, I use the Misha charge to readjust with me. More of a disengage, like we did on Valir yesterday. Less aggressive. Aspect of the Hawk gives you some bonus attacks. You should have an auto-attacker on your team, so why there are other options. But, you know, none of these options seem stellar. What's going on with Dire Beast? Rexxar and Misha's basic attacks increase the damage of the next Misha charge by 40%, stacking up to 400%. Now here, that looks like a Merc build. So we're doing a little bit of this. We're doing my Merkin, Bestial Wrath, because it's going to help me take a boss quicker. Why not? This would be passive damage, so I like it for Merking. But I bring that up here on Dire Beast because attacks increase damage of the next Misha charge. 400% bonus. Damage at 13, still pretty darn low. Let's actually go ahead. Yep.
Here, Misha.
Let's double check that, right?
Chill.
Yeah. Looks like Rexxar just threw out a quick auto attack as I cast there. Just making sure there's no basic attack damage with that. Cool. So, low damage. Dire Beast. Both of our attacks. So Rexxar.
This way.
Let's go ahead and put Misha over there in a corner. Yep. 40% a go. Jeez. That's going to build up fast.
Here, Misha.
So together, we're going up to 10. And then we charge for 491 instead of 98. Hot dang. That builds fast. And you can imagine the exact situation I would use it in, which would be to store up. I'm over here. I'm working on this boss. I'm putting out auto attacks. So when I eventually am done with said boss, and I go out into lane, I am now sitting on a pile of bonus damage that I could apply straight into Arthas's face. Win the fight, go back to murking, have bonus damage on the next Misha charge. Pretty obvious little stack to do with my aspect of the beast here. Since it doesn't increase exponentially, I don't need to worry about casting charge too soon and wasting like a combo point kind of system. It's just whatever the increase is. Of course, it's always nice to have maximum of everything you do. In this instance, I wouldn't charge the final bit because I'd be saving up for when I get in lane, and now I have a maximum Misha charge. That seems fantastic. I love it.
Here, Misha.
But Aspect of the Hawk... Oh, I have to hit a hero, right. I keep coming back to this. I keep thinking Aspect of the Hawk could help me burn through a mercenary camp faster. But I have to hit a hero, which is the deal breaker. So, Wildfire Bear, if you have no idea what's going on, not that that'd be a problem, just that if you don't know what to pick, Wildfire Bear is always awesome. Aspect of the Hawk, if you're in team fights and you want auto attacks, actually, this attack speed could matter a lot at level 16 and 20. We'll see what happens. Dire Beast, though, for murking, so you can visit, and your first Misa charge goes from, well, 98 to 491. Gives you a little bit of burst damage on a rather unbursty kit. I like it a lot. Let's advance. We may want auto attacks now that I think about it as we go deeper into the game. Particularly when we reach level 20 and the Frenzy Talons. Could be very powerful. But for now, Dire Beast, and I'm doing a little bit of murking. Thrill of the Hunt. Your basic attacks increase both you and Misha's movement speed by 25% for 2 seconds. So, you and Misha's 25. Oh. So here I am, moving normally. Misha attacks the thing. And I get, wow, 25% movement speed. That's pretty good. Plus her 15% movement speed she already has. There's a good chance she'll get me some good hits. And I'll be able to maintain my increased speed. So that's 2 seconds. Whereas Misha stops, it goes away rather quick. But Misha also gets the movement speed, so if Misha's back here, and I start attacking the target, now Misha gets the movement speed. We both do at the same time. It's not an either or. But now we're both increasing our movement speed. And that's pretty stellar. Mainly, the main point of this would be put Misha on a target and run away Rexxar. That's pretty good. Particularly for keeping Rexxar alive for our sweet animal husbandry. Primal Intimidation. Cooldown 20 seconds. Heroes and summons that attack you or Misha have their attack speed slowed by 20% for 2.5 seconds. Activate to slow the attack speed by 50% and movement speed for 20% of nearby heroes and summons near Rexxar and Misha for 2.5. So, unaffected, but I don't think we've actually played around with this since Imposing Presence was reworked in the game. Do we have 2 circles? We do. Ooh. So you wouldn't want to be too close together. You don't want to Venn diagram it. You'd want to maybe have Misha up in the front line, reducing attack speed by 50%, movement speed by 20%, and then if a stealthy jumps out on you, particularly Valera or someone with a really fast attack speed, that would really feel that 50% reduction. So a nice sort of emergency button, I think, to protect Rexxar in the late game. So they're... Oh, it's a survivability level. Yeah, this is up against Feign Death. 35-second cooldown. Fake your death, becoming invulnerable and untargetable for 5 seconds. During this time, you control Misha. I like that. That all has very different applications. Primal Intimidation against our auto-attackers. Nice little explosion. Thrill the Hunt against maybe Dive. People we need to adjust from, perhaps. Probably things that are hunting us down quickly. Fast-moving heroes, perhaps. And then Feign Death to avoid chromies, space lasers from Nova, area effects that are keeping you down, dodge a pyroblast. This thing does make you unstoppable as well when you're on the ground there. Because you're in stasis, just like the Haka. So you can't be moved about, you couldn't be rewound. Feign Death because the animation is cute? It is cute. It's true. And it's kind of fun, particularly when you do Bestial Wrath, to lay down with this little flower there and get control of Misha directly for a little bit. So great situational picks, a stasis on the kit, as it's always been, but now those sort of things have become really, really important. Nothing changed at level 20, but let's go ahead and go there, and let's see what's up with those auto attack talents, like the Frenzy. Spirit Bond. Increase the duration of Bestial Wrath by 50%, and Misha's basic attacks heal Rexxar for 50% of the damage dealt during Bestial Wrath. Great way to recover some health if people are targeting you and ignoring Misha in the first place. Kill Command. Unleash the Boars. Deals 50% more damage and roots for 1.5 seconds. Might want to root in late game, particularly if you were having awful CC problems. Frenzy of Kalimdor. Your basic attacks deal 10% more damage, and Misha's basic attacks slow the target by 20%. This is what I'm curious about. Let's see what we could do here. So, we would want to do Bird of Prey, probably, into Hungry Bear, with a little bit of, perhaps, mana returning, because this is going to get expensive spamming these things.
Clever.
Let's assume we want more basic attacks, so let's do Unleash the Boar so we have some CC. Aspect of the Hawk for increased attack speed when I hit a hero. Here, I would probably want to either kite or do the kiting. So let's go with Thrill the Hunt so I can maintain my range. And then Frenzy of Kalimdor for a slow and 10% more damage.
This way.
So 239 isn't a bad auto attack. With increased attack speed, that could be pretty good. Really feel that sudden stop though when it goes down. So let's try this in lane. Who's laning at level 20? I don't know. Why would you? Unless you're defending a base in which you are behind.
Misha, here.
Well, with the increased movement speed, you can kind of get around. Wail on people a little bit. Of course, Arthas takes reduced damage, 15% reduced damage from auto attacks, so it's not a perfect picture, but seems like a quick match thing. Could be cute. You need auto attacks in the game. Maybe Dezebo took Superstition in the late game, so he's vulnerable to auto attacks, and your team is nothing but spellcasters. Maybe you need to break through an Anubarak that's gone full anti-spellcaster, but I mean, in all reality, I think you just have better places to draft. But then you have a hardened skin. Reduce damage that you and me should take by 75% for 2 seconds. So, another situational pick.